Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and I hope the weather is better by you than it is by me. It has been horribly hot and humid here this last week and yesterday. We had a little bit of rain in the morning and throughout the week. Towards the end of the week, we had some horrible rainstorms, lots of tree limbs down. lots of things like that. But good news is that everybody's safe, everybody's doing things, and so that's the good news. So the thumbnail for this video says Norfolk quilt, and that's the goal for today, but I'm not sure we're actually going to get to it today. We'll have to wait and see. So I do have another thumbnail ready to go to switch it out if it turns out that we don't get to it. But no matter what happens today, whether we get to that project or we don't finish that project today, I do plan on having another live stream tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, to finish up whatever we don't get to today for our Norfolk quilt. So keep that in mind. The other thing to note is that I am doing a second live stream today, not on my channel, but over on Katie's channel, where we will be doing the Peace of Mind Mending Pieces live stream. We do it about once a month. And the focus for those live streams is discussions about mental health. We usually are sewing a little bit because I have to keep my brain busy. But discussions there is mental health. So if that's not for you, I completely understand. But if it's something that you might be interested in or you are interested in now, please check that out. You can do !Katie in chat to get a link to her channel. And then later this afternoon, I think it's either 3 or 3:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll be over there for a couple of hours chatting away. So that's it. So you guys know that I went on vacation a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't tell you everything about where I was going. You guys knew I was going to see my Elvis festival. I've got my poster here, and I've got my all access pass right here. So we did go see Elvis. That was a fantastic set of concerts. It's a 3-day festival, 2 concerts a day. Each of them is 2 hours apiece, so it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, saw some amazingly talented individuals. We had a great time, but the beginning of that week, I didn't tell you where we were going, and we were actually going, and so if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, then you already know where I went. I went to Missouri Star Quilt Company. We went to Quilt Town. We spent a day and a half in Quilt Town. We actually spent a full day in Quilt Town, and then we just spent kind of a day and a half in Chillicothe, which is a town not too far away from Hamilton. So we spent a day and a half there. We had a great time. We visited some really cool, fun things, but obviously we may have spent a little bit of money in Quilt Town. And so I'm going to show you guys everything that I got from Quilt Town. I'm going to tell you all about my experiences there. Not only did we spend some time in Quilt Town, but then we also stopped at a couple of other smaller mom and pop stores along the way. A couple of them we knew about, that we've actually been to them before. But we decided to stop at them again because you guys know yourself, even at your local quilt store, things are constantly rotating in and out. So we wanted to see what kind of new things they had. So a couple of these projects are from there as well. Mama Joyce came home with a couple of projects. Sherlock Cheryl came home with a couple of projects. So we're going to get her behind the machine here soon. We're going to be putting that together probably in September, because August is pretty booked up for us already, so we'll probably get her behind the machine starting maybe in September, maybe in October, because she does have some prep that she needs to do first, so we'll have to wait and see. But she'll be behind the machine, so that's really exciting, and then we've got all of these fun projects to work on. So I'm going to show you guys everything that I got, but before we do that, let me hop in chat and say hello to everybody there, because I know that not everybody was able to make our Tuesday live stream, and that's totally fine. So I want to make sure that I say hello to everybody that's here on our regular scheduled live stream, because I know I've missed you guys, and hopefully you've missed me a little bit too. But first of all, I think the very first person in chat, and I'm not 100% sure if my screen is correct or not, but it looks like the very first person in chat was Linda Denton. So Linda, thank you so much for being the very first person in chat. I really appreciate you guys being there. Brat46 was the second person. Between the two of you, you're usually teeter-tottering back and forth as to which one is the first person. I truly appreciate your commitment to the channel, your commitment to the community, and just the amazing things that you're able to bring to it. So thank you so much for that. Susan You're Out is also here. Hi, Susan. She just came back from visiting her daughter, and she says she enjoyed her visit with her daughter, but she's glad she's back home. And I can understand that too. I enjoyed my trip, my 7-day trip away from home, but I was also really grateful to be back home too. So I'm glad that you're back home. I'm glad everything went well, and I'm glad that you enjoyed your trip. Teresa, hello, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Judy is also here. Good morning, Judy. Judy, your idea about the Shrinky Dings, I've been telling everybody I know about that. In fact, I shared that as I took a quilting class yesterday, which I'm going to tell you guys more about that as well. I took a class yesterday, and I told the instructors about that, and they thought game changer. So apparently, it's just not something that everybody thinks about. So thank you again for that tip, That was really, really helpful, and I've been sharing it with everybody I know. And I keep giving you credit for it, of course. Kathy, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy is one of our moderators. If you guys have a question or you need help with anything, please reach out to her or Terry or Lucas. Of course, Lucas is not with us this morning. He had some family obligations he needed to take care of. I will actually be seeing him later today. He's going to be stopping by the house here. But obviously, you guys probably won't get to see him, and that's okay. But we're going to get to see him again in August in front of the camera because we're going to be working on putting the binding on our Wild West quilt. So stay tuned for our After Dark edition in August. We had to skip one in July because there was just too much going on. But we will be back in August for the After Dark edition, and Lucas will be joining us for that. I'll probably post that on the channel in the next couple of days. I got to work through my August schedule and get that all posted up there for you guys ready to go. Because unfortunately, I can't remember what day in August. I'll have to tell you guys soon enough. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, make sure you tag either Kathy or Terry or Lucas in chat, and they will be happy to help you. Or if not, you can also tag me as well, and I will try and help you as best I can. But a lot of times they see things way before I do, and they know how to get a hold of me if it's something really important, and I've missed it in chat. So please make sure you check out them. They're amazing. I'm so grateful to them for helping me out every time I'm on a live stream. I'm just so grateful for them. So it takes a village. It really does. It really takes a village, and they are part of that village. So I truly appreciate it. Chloe, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Joyce, good morning. Thanks so much for being here. She says, good morning, Danny and everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here, Joyce. We really appreciate it. Susan says, time to get dressed. LOL. Susan, I have to agree with Patty. I saw her message further down. I think it's PJ Sunday. I mean, that's where I'm at. I think that's a great idea. But I understand I think you have to go to church, so probably shouldn't go to church in your PJs. I mean, I'm sure it's frowned upon by someone. But that's okay. Brenda, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend as well. Brett46 says, remember to hit that like button. Thank you, Brett46, for reminding everybody. If you guys could just take a quick second and hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. It does really help out the channel in regards to us making new friends and having new people hang out with us and things like that. So that definitely helps for sure. Scrolling through. Streamlabs obviously woke up. I see everybody starting to do their morning gambling, which is totally fine. Denise, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Patty also says hello. Hi, Patty. It's so great to see you. Good morning. Let's see. Susan, Joyce. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. She says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Dawn. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you also. Bubbly D, that's me. that's my alter ego. So they re-sponsored. So yay! I paid for my own channel. That's funny. Oh, I didn't even notice that came up. That's funny. Kathy, Susan, Dawn, Joyce. I thought I saw a new name in here. I'll get to it. There it is. Joy. Joy, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. She says, hello, sewing my own thing, but wanted some company. No problem, Joy. We're happy to have you. You can hang out with us for as little or as long as you want to, or you can also catch a live stream later. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. We love our lurkers just as much as we love our chatters. I want you guys are just as much a part of our community as anybody else. Even the ones that watch our channel and don't subscribe, you're still part of our community. We still include you. We would love to be able to chat with you a little bit more, of course. But you are all still a very important part of our community, and we're so grateful to have you here. So thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching today. Judy, I said good morning to you, but good morning again. I see you guys spamming that party button. I see it. I see it. Thank you very much for that. I did see a puppy come in. I don't have the puppy cam turned on, but I have it plugged in so I could turn it on. But I just saw her come in. Where did she go? Where are you? Oh, I see a foot. She's down over here in the corner. All right, I think I've gotten through everybody in chat. If I missed you, I sincerely apologize. Sometimes my scroll button does some weird things and it skips like stuff. So if I missed you, I'm so sorry. Please say hello again in chat. This time I need you to tag me in it though. I want you to do the @ symbol, that's the A with the circle around it, and then put so not an expert in there. And what that does is it highlights it right on the screen so then hopefully I don't miss it. Although I have still missed a couple of those too. But that way, at least hopefully I'll get to miss it. So for a little while, I'm going to be facing this way, so hopefully I won't miss it. So are you guys ready to get started? Ready to see what is in all of these piles? So after I came home from Quilt Town and from our adventures, I went ahead and I sorted everything out by project. So not everything that you see here is stuff that I brought that I bought when I was there. Some of this is some stuff that I had at home. One of the recommendations that I'm going to make to you is if you do an adventure like this, and I've learned this over the years, and maybe this will be helpful to you, is if you do an adventure like this, you go to Paducah for a day, you go to Quilt Town for a day, you go to, you make a trip out to a specific quilt store for whatever reason, have a goal in mind, whether that be bringing a project with you to try and finish up, whether that be some backing or some borders or whatever, or whether that be a specific project that you're looking in mind. Maybe you just bring a pattern with you and you just want to work with that pattern or something, but have just one goal in mind with you, and that kind of helps. I found, at least for me anyway, I found that it really kind of helps get those creative juices flowing. It kind of helps get that inspiration going, and then from there it just kind of snowballs. At least for me, it just kind of snowballs. So I started with 3 quilt tops that we have worked on here on the channel. I started with 3 quilt tops that I wanted to bring with me. 2 of them I wanted borders for and backing, and then another one I just wanted a backing and binding fabric for. So those are the ones that I started with, and those are the 3 that are up front here. So this one here, I know it's hard to see, but this is the Starfire pattern that we put together. It's black, red, and white. I did the majority of this one off camera, so you guys really didn't get to see a whole lot of it, but I did show it to you guys just before it was finished, and I can show it to you again. But that's one of the projects that I brought with me. And then I also brought our Resilient project with me, which you guys saw this one get put together. So I brought that one with me because I wanted to get a borders and a backing for that one. And then I also brought a bed runner project with me that we made eons ago on the channel, like probably the first year we made this thing on the channel. But that is just a bed runner, so it's a nice long piece, and it's not very wide, it's only about this wide, and I wanted that one because I was looking for a backing fabric and a binding fabric for that. So good news is that I found everything I needed and then some. But we started out, so let me tell you a little bit about Quilt Town first. For those of you who are not familiar with Quilt Town, it is the downtown area of Hamilton, Missouri, where Missouri Star Quilt Company was founded. Okay, Missouri Star Quilt Company started as one little store off the strip, and then they purchased another store on the strip, and then they just kept purchasing stores as they grew, until finally they got to a point where they now own almost all of the stores in the downtown area, which is it's amazing because they're really able to keep those stores open. Small towns, the downtown area and small towns really struggle to keep those little stores open and keep revenue coming into the town. So Missouri Star Quilt Company has done a fantastic job of making sure that they keep their town running, which is really cool. Now, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to expect when I got there. I guess part of me was thinking it was something like off the beaten path, like it was this section of the town. And I guess that's just the city girl in me. I was just not quite understanding what a small town actually meant. But I can tell you for sure that as you're driving into Hamilton and you take the main strip, because there's really only one road, when you take the main road in, that's Missouri Star Quilt Company. As we were shopping along the streets, we had tractors driving through and big dump trucks driving through and grain bins driving through, and then the little cars would drive through and people would come through. It was just so cool. And in that downtown area is also their grocery store. It is such a cute little grocery store. I don't know why we had to go in. We had to go in and just peek our head around. Like, we didn't actually need groceries, but we just wanted to see what a small town grocery store looked like. Because We live in a big city, you know, small town grocery stores just aren't our thing. Yes, exactly, Don. You really can't miss it. Like, you're gonna drive right into it. Like that's exactly right. So for those for reference, I grabbed a little pamphlet and I wanted to show it with you guys really, really quickly. So this is a map of the downtown of Hamilton. This white, dark, big white road here, that's the main road. And you can see all the orange boxes are boxes that are owned by Missouri Star Quilt Company. Yeah. All the blue boxes are independent buildings, and all the red ones are food and drink. So it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but that is a map of Missouri Star Quilt Company, of Quilt Town, okay? Such a cute little place. You start in one corner, and the recommendation is you start in one corner, you work your way down one side, you cross the street, and then you work your way down the other side. And that's exactly what we did. So we started at the coffee shop. We got ourselves a coffee, and then we just started going store to store to store. And we did not miss a single store. We went through every single store, even if it had nothing to do with quilting, because there was a couple of them that had nothing to do with quilting. But we went through every single store. They have built a little fabric empire. Yes, they have, Terry. Yes, it. If you are able, I strongly encourage you to check it out. It is just so neat. It really is the neatest thing. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. It was a lot of fun. I spent way too much money, but that's okay. We have projects for and it's extremely clean. Yes. The thing that I was the most impressed about this town is they actually have so one side of the street is higher up than the other side. Okay, that's just the way most small towns work. And so usually you got a couple of steps you got to get up to in order to get to the storefronts. Well, Missouri Star Quilt Company has paid the city to make sure that there are ramps put in for those who are um, physically challenged and who are unable to climb up these stairs because the stairs are kind of narrow. I'll be honest, the stairs to climb up were kind of narrow. So they have ramps on both sides so that you can come up, and they're fairly new too. They're fairly new. Yeah, fairly new. I'd love to visit in the small towns, not even incorporated in Olympia, Pennsylvania. Hand quilting that we're traveling. There you go. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so with a meat style counter, yeah. So yes, okay. Yes, you're absolutely right, Don. It was different. It was different. Like I'm not a big scraps person, so that particular store didn't really do it for me. Hi, Janelle. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. So that one really didn't do much for me. I went into it, but I didn't buy anything. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. But yes, that was a different kind of store. It was very different. Very, very different. We started at the Floral Stop, which is the very, very first store that you come across. It's called the Floral Stop. And basically what it is it's all fabrics with floral patterns to them. So we started there, and that's where I got this one from. This fabric is intended for the backing fabric for our mystery project. Now, if you guys have been following along with the mystery project, we actually worked on that on Tuesday of this week. So you guys remember the colors of that one. Um, So I thought this one was going to go perfect with that project. So this is the backing. I know I bought way more than I needed because I'm still kind of hemming and hawing about whether I'm going to need borders for it or not. I don't think that I will, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's why I bought extra of this one because I even have enough here to make a small border if I need to. The butt cushion. That's awesome. So this was my very first purchase in Quilt Town was this backing fabric for this one, and it was like I just zoned in on it. Like I was just kind of scanning through my creative juices really weren't flowing yet. I hadn't really caught the inspiration bug just yet, but I just saw this one and my eye just like zoned in on it. You guys have had that same feeling before, so that's why I grabbed this one. I'm gonna set that one off here. So we don't. So that was the very first thing that I purchased. And now you guys remember I have all these other fabrics, these other projects that we were working on that we're trying to find inspiration for. So next in the floral shop, I came across the fabrics for our resilient quilt. Now my resilient quilt is kind of a small quilt, and I really wanted to do a double border, so a thin border, then a thick border, and then I needed to. My puppies. Oh, did she show up again? Um, so I wanted to do a thin border and then a thick border, and then I also needed a backing and binding. So in total, I needed at least 3 fabrics, maybe 4 if I was doing a binding. Well, it turns out I decided to do something a little different with this one. Let me show you what I ended up with. So let me remind you guys what the quilt top looks like first. That's why I said I don't think we're going to get to a project today because I'm just excited to tell you guys all about it. So this is our quilt top. This was made with Anne of Green Gables fabric line. And you remember each block is different. Each block is made with a different set of fabrics in different places. So every single block was different. And it was just very busy fabrics, beautiful fabrics, but very busy. Mostly it's greens and purples, which you guys know are my favorite colors. So I wanted to try and grab some fabrics that were a little less busy, but not necessarily solid. Because I wanted to kind of break your eye away from all of that busy fabric. So this is what I came up with. Let me see if I can do this here without giving too much away. Okay, so here is the dark colored fabric that I chose for the small border. You guys can see it's a brown, and it's got the purple and green little teeny tiny flowers in it, but the actual fabric colors are brown. And I thought that would break up this fabric really nicely. And then for the thicker chunky border, I found this purple, which this purple fabric I thought worked really well with the other purples that are in here. I thought it worked really well. It's not an exact match, but I didn't really want it to be an exact match. So we're going to have a thin border here and then a nice chunky border. I think I'm going to do a 4-inch border here. So those are the 2 border fabrics. And then here is the fabric that I chose for the backing. This one's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's a tone on tone on tone on tone of purple. And this is going to be the backing. And then this last one here will be the binding. This nice pretty green. And I thought this green is going to work really well with breaking up the border fabrics that I've got here. And it's going to bring this green out here. So I'm really excited about this one. This one I'm really I'm excited about all of them, but this was the first project, and I got all of these same fabrics at the floral shop. But now, because I've basically finished an entire project, I kind of went into a little bit of a panic because I'm like, well, I've got all of these other stores to go through. How am I going to stay inspired going through all those stores? Well, I didn't have to. Oh, thank you guys so much for that. I'm glad that you like it. We'll be pulling this one back out to work on it on the channel in the next coming weeks. But I was really worried because I was like, I've just picked out all of these fabrics for this project. Like, I only have 2 more projects to work on. You know, what am I going to do with the rest of the stores? Well, don't you worry. I managed to figure that out. As is evident by what's on this table right now. So let me just stuff this real quick. It was all kind of organized, and I'll organize it again later. But so that was our resilience project. We got all the fabric we need. Joyce, I'm usually not this good at picking colors, if I'm honest. But I was having the amount of variety of fabrics to choose from in Quilt Town really helped with inspiration. It really helped kind of get the juices flowing. It was really, really helpful. Okay, so that was my resilient project. The next one that we came across, we actually bought 3 projects in the same store. We went into the Missouri Star Quilt Company store, which for those of you who don't know, there's actually a store down there. And in the store, they've set it up kind of cool. So if you're going to go down there, I recommend you hit that store first before you go to any of the other stores. And the reasoning for that is they have set up that store so that around the edges of the store, there's different sections of the store that represent the different stores in the downtown area. They're like little shelving units that have like a small sampling of what the types of fabrics are that you're going to see in those other stores. And then when you get to that other store, it is wall-to-wall fabric for that particular theme, depending on what the theme is. So florals, the floral market, was floral fabrics, obviously. They have the license to sew, which is licensed fabrics. They have the boutique, which is all boutique fabrics. So they had different sections set up. And so I didn't buy any fabric in that store, but I did buy a couple of patterns in that store because I knew that I had some fabric at home that would work really well with it. So some of these projects that I came home with weren't necessarily completed projects. They were a part of the project that I knew I was going to have at home. Like, for example, the backing for this one. So I count that as a project. The one that I came home with was this one here. This pattern is a Missouri Star Quilt Company pattern called Ticker Tape. And they had the sample hanging on the wall. Now, I really loved the black and white in the centers there, and then the jelly roll strips in the middle. I just thought that was just so neat the way they were able to do that. They didn't have this fabric line anymore that this particular pattern was written for, but I thought that's okay because I think I have something similar at home. So when I came home, I found this one in my stash, which I've had for a little while. It's called Miss Marguerite. It's by Benetrex. You guys know I love purple and green. Like, I can't help it. So I have this one here. I think this one was I purchased this one from So Yeah, like 100 years ago. But you can see all the purples and greens, and I thought this one's going to go really well as this pattern. And then, so I went into my stash, and I always keep black, white, and silver in my stash for background fabrics, and so I grabbed a gray. Instead of a white, I'm going to use a little bit of a gray, and then my solid black. So this one right here, just by buying the pattern and shopping my stash, I was able to get a whole project together. So I went ahead and organized it in my Ziploc. This one will go into my project bin, and when I'm ready to start a new project, I just grab the bin, the package, and I'm ready to go. Joyce says I'm a fabric hoarder. Joyce, I completely understand having way too many choices, and that's why I say start with a goal. Bring a couple of projects with you and start with a goal. What for me it was, I either started with a quilt top that I had, or I started with a pattern, and then I went from there and I kind of built it from there. So I purchased this pattern in the quilt store, in the actual Missouri Star Quilt Company store, because I knew I had fabrics to go with it. I purchased another pattern just because I liked the pattern, but I didn't have the fabrics for it yet. The fabrics I would find later on. This one is called Framed Pinwheels. And I loved the pattern for it, but I didn't have any fabrics to go with it yet. So this now gave me another goal throughout the rest of the stores to try and find fabric to go with it. Now, for the most part, the projects that I found, the rest of the fabric that I found for these two pieces here, this one's a different one. Ooh. These two here, I found the fabric for all of these three in Penny's Market. It's called Penny's Quilt Shop. Penny's Quilt Shop is probably the main quilt store down there. It's going to have a wide variety of different types of fabrics to choose from, not just your cottons, but it's going to have your minkies, it's going to have your blends, things like that. It's going to have all of that. And on top of that as well, it's connected to all of the other stores. So on one side of the street, you have these cute little storefronts, okay, and then on the other side of the street, you have this massive building. It's all one building, and they've broken it out into smaller stores on the bottom, and then on the top, it's different stores, but they're all connected. So that one actually has two stories. It's an old J.C. Penney's building. Yep, that is exactly correct, Terry. Yes, it is. It's an old J.C. Penney's building because J.C. Penney was actually founded in Hamilton. Oh no! They actually have a museum in the downtown area as well, and they also have J.C. Penney's hometown, or I'm sorry, childhood home is in that downtown area that you can tour as well. We did not tour those two things. It was hotter than Hades. By the time we got through with all our quilting stuff, it was just like we were just exhausted. My problem is that if I like it, I buy it whether I have a plan for it or not. Well, you know, that's a self-control thing, Joyce. I understand that. I think I did that with a couple of things. The JCPenney's museum. Yeah, we did not get a chance to go into the museum. It was hotter than Hades, and we had focus of things we wanted to do. But these three things I bought in Penny's quilt store. So first we'll start with this one. This one was the pattern, okay? And then I came across this layer cake, and it's kind of hard to see it because it's sealed, and I don't want to unseal it. But this is Stonehenge Graduations Crystal by Northcott. I've used Stonehenge fabrics before. They're absolutely gorgeous. They kind of remind me a little bit of a grunge, but they've got more of a marbling to them as opposed to the grunge fabric. And this is in pinks and teals and blues and purples, and I just loved this colorway. Now, of course, in the store you could actually flip through it. They had one that was open that you could flip through. This one is sealed. Okay, and then on top of that, I ended up with. So for this project, you need one layer cake and two charm squares. The charm squares should be a backing fabric or a solid fabric. So I went ahead and picked this beautiful grayish color. It's kind of hard to see. My lighting in here is just terrible today. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see the gray fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. I know, somebody must be here. My dogs are barking like crazy. So this will be the background for this project. So layer cake, two charm squares, and a pattern. Another project. I don't have any backing for it yet, obviously, but I decided to wait on the backing fabric until I could really put the top together. That's usually how I do things. I don't like to buy backing fabric unless I know exactly what the quilt's going to look like. I usually will wait. So that one, another project set up. Boom. Check. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you. I don't know why the dogs are barking so much. I'm sorry. Okay, so the next project that we came across, this one I have to give 100% credit to Mama Joyce. She found these pieces, and as soon as she pulled them out, I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. This one is the the bed runner project. Let me show you the actual bed runner. Got a bunch of scraps in here too, so it's kind of a little tight to work with. Let's try and pull it out. Here. So this one is a Missouri Star Quilt Company pattern that I made 100 years ago. I think it's called like Walk in the Park or something. It's a strip tube project, but basically this is what it is. I mean, it's obviously longer than this. It's obviously way longer than this, but this is the width of it. So it's this wide and this long. So this was the inspiration. This is what we were working with. I think someone might actually be here. So it's beautiful ballerina fabrics. They're Paris and ballerinas, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, there's busy, and then there's solid, and it's a tone-on-tone black. I don't know if you guys can tell. The black is a tone-on-tone black. So it's like there's a lot of busy, but not really a lot of busy. And so Mama Joyce found these two pieces of fabric that are absolutely incredible. This one is going to be for the backing. Can you guys see the shimmer on it already? Look at this. It's shimmering. It's amazing. It's this beautiful pink fabric and it shimmers. See the shimmer? Isn't that amazing? And then we bought this one to go as a binding on it too. This one also shimmers. It's not stiff. It's very soft. It's very soft. Oh, did you see the baby? Yeah, she's here. It's on. Hi, Ivy. Yeah, Ivy's here. Hi, Ivy. Hi, baby girl. Hi. Hi. No, no. So this will be the backing, and this will be the binding. Isn't that amazing? What happened here? Go away. Go away. No, okay. Offline mode. Okay. That's great. Go away. Brenda says I don't. When I come in via notification, I can't chat or have volume. I have to go out and choke in with subscription. That's so weird, Brenda. Isn't that amazing? So cool. It's got to be a YouTube thing. I don't know the answer to that for you. I'm sorry. So this one I'm really excited about. This one will be a quick project because I basically just have to quilted up. And I'm thinking about sending this one to the long arm just because I probably could do this one on my home machine, but it seems like it would be a lot of wrestling, so I might just give this one over to the long arm and have her do this one up real quick for me. So that one will likely go over to her first for the long arming. Grab this. So that one, I give Mama Joyce 100% credit on this one. She found the fabrics. She pulled it up, and originally I was like, I don't know, and then I pulled the quilt top actually out and laid it up next to it, and I went, ooh, I really like that. So that one will be a nice pretty pink when it's done, and I love that shimmery fabric, so you could use it kind of on either side. That's really that one's going to be like one of those you can use either side of it, so that'll be a lot of fun. So that one was another project. And now you guys have mentioned this one 2 or 3 times already, but this one is the black, white, and red. I started this one a long time ago. So I started this one a long time ago with a scrap with an extra fat quarter bundle that I had. And you can see how just crazy busy this one is. Just crazy busy. Like the fabrics on it are just crazy busy. So I was trying to find something that would kind of break up this crazy busy. Like just break it up a little bit because it's just crazy, right? They do send surveys, Brenda. They do send surveys for content creators. And if they do, I will make sure to note that for sure. But yeah, see how just crazy busy that is. Like, I love it. I love the pattern, but the fabrics are just crazy busy. So this one was a challenge. This one was really a challenge to try and find fabrics for because I didn't want to go full solid because then it was just too much. But I was like, this one was a struggle. Like we held it, and then trying to match up this red to something was even more difficult because this red is not a Christmas red, which is what we thought initially. It's not a Christmas red. It's not a burgundy either. I mean, it's just this weird shade of red that we had a terrible time trying to find. So I wanted to do some borders on this one to kind of break up this crazy a little bit. And then I also needed some backing fabric for this one as well. So this is what I found. So initially I found the backing fabric. And the backing fabric was just so cool. I loved it. I thought it was just so much fun. So here is the backing fabric that we chose. It's bicycles. It's got the red, it's got the gray, it's got the black, it's got the white, and they're little bicycles. And I just thought that's busy, but not as busy as this is. And the reds are almost spot on. Like the red is just almost spot on. So it was super close. I liked the fact that it was still busy, but not as busy as these fabrics. So this is what we found first. And then I thought, okay, well, I had seen another fabric when I was looking through the stores, because there's just millions of different stores. I had seen a fabric that I thought, ooh, and then that I kind of liked, but I wasn't sure how it would go. And then when we decided to pick this as the backing fabric with the little bicycles, I went back and I grabbed it. Because it is, and this might be really hard to see on the camera, but this is a tone-on-tone red fabric. Oh, can you guys see it? There are bicycles in it. It's tone-on-tone red, and it's little bicycles. And so that is going to end up being my thinner border that goes all the way around. Okay. And then this will be my chunky border. I got this really cool, like, grunge hexagon pattern piece here for my chunky border. Okay. And then for this quilt, because it's black and white, black and red and white and everything else, I've decided I'm going to do that double binding again, like we did on one of our previous quilts, where you got the little thin line that goes all the way around, and then the big one. So that is, these two fabrics will end up being my binding fabric. So I'll have this red line, this will be a red line, and then the black will actually be the other one. Snake skin, yeah, it's really close. It's actually like a pinwheel hexagon, But you're right, from far away, it kind of looks a little bit like a snakeskin. But I loved the texture to it, and I loved that it wasn't a solid. I'm not a big fan of just solids. Solids just don't do a whole lot for me. So I prefer a tone on tone or something with a texture. Grunge fabric, which is what these two are. Grunge fabric is my absolute favorite. Flange binding. Thank you, Dawn. I could never remember. So that's what these two will be, is a flange binding. So I'm going to be making a flange binding for this as well. So this one, these two will be the borders. This black one here will be the backing. So it's still going to be a very busy quilt, but I think these colors will all pull together really, really nicely. What do you guys think? You like it? So this one, I was really frustrated by this quilt because it was just taking me such a long amount of time to find the right combination of fabrics and colors to go with it. And I was really getting kind of discouraged by it. Like, I really didn't think I was going to be able to find it. And then we were in the License to Sew store and we found this bicycle fabric. And so the bicycle fabric is kind of what started this inspiration of the rest of the colors. And that's when, the brain kind of turned on and went, hey, I know what we can do. And so then that's when I started going back to the other stores and grabbing the other fabrics again. So now I'm more excited about this one than I have been before, because honestly, this is really busy fabric for me. Like, this is definitely not my comfort zone for fabrics. It's really, really busy. It almost like hurts my eyes to look at it, so busy. So I'm hoping that these other fabrics are going to kind of tone it down a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see. So you guys will probably see this one show up again 2 or 3 times back on the channel as we finish it up. So I'll have to do the borders on this one first before we can send that one to the long arm. So that's another one. Whoa. Okay, so those are all of the pieces that I bought in Quilt Town. Okay. Did you actually take your project to the store? Yes, Dawn. Absolutely, I did. 100%. And they were so great about it. They were so great about it. Like, I actually had, when I was picking out the fabrics for Resilient, I actually had a couple of the store employees, which every single store employee we came across was amazingly helpful, kind, generous, just so kind. So kind, so helpful. I can't say enough about every employee that we came across. It was just amazing. So those are all of the things that I bought in Quilt Town. And then, so we drove out to Hamilton, Missouri, spent a day in Hamilton. Then we spent a day at Grant's Farm in Missouri. I don't remember exactly which town, forgive me. We spent a day in Grant's Farm. It was 5,000 degrees. It was horribly hot. For those of you who don't know what Grant's Farm is the farm where they raise and train the Clydesdale horses for the Anheuser-Busch carts. In addition to that, they also have a smaller zoo across the street from them, which has a variety of different animals, petting zoos, things like that. So we were really there more to see the Clydesdales, and then they have a trolley tour that you can take. We were really there for more than that. And I actually have a screenshot of the temperature when we sat down to eat lunch. 5,000 degrees, yeah, well, it was. I took a screenshot of the temperature when we sat down to eat lunch, and it said it was 109. It was warm. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time there, but we were driving back into St. Louis at that point in time. So there were things there. So one of the stores that we stopped at in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hi, Melina. Thanks so much for joining us. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. So one of the stores that we stopped at when we were heading back into St. Louis and heading towards Collinsville, which is where we had our Elvis Festival, was a store called Oh So Personal in O'Fallon. Now, the Oh So Personal store is actually, it has 2 locations. There's one in Collinsville, Illinois, and then there's one in O'Fallon. Last year, Mama Joyce, Cheryl, and I went to the one in Collinsville, and that's when we found out about the one in O'Fallon. And so we decided, since we were going to be basically driving right through O'Fallon to head back to Collinsville, we decided to make the stop. And so, cute store, Super cute store. We got to meet the owner of the store. She's so amazing. She was so helpful. Such a sweet lady. If you guys are in that area, I strongly encourage you to stop by that store. Really great store. If you live in the area, they offer classes and things. If you don't live in the area, they have a lot of kits. So if you're a kit person, like my Mama Joyce is a kit person, like she has a really hard time picking out fabrics to make projects. But she can pick out a kit. Like she can see a sample on the wall and she can say, I want to make that. And so then she can come home with the kit and do that. So they had a lot of kits there, and that's what a couple of the things were that I bought in that store. And then while we were in Collinsville for our Elvis Festival, oh, Terry says, "What did you buy me?" I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Uh, so one of the things that so when we were in Collinsville, we stopped at their oh so personal store in Collinsville. Now I didn't actually buy anything in the Collinsville store. I take that back. I did buy one. I did buy a pattern from them. Mama Joyce bought another kit, and she bought one kit in the O'Fallon store, and then she bought another kit in the Collinsville store. Sherlock Cheryl bought a kit. She bought two panels in the O'Fallon store, and then she bought some subsequent fabrics to go with that in the Collinsville store. So they did carry different things. Some of the things were similar, but they were different things. So we're really glad that we decided to stop in both stores. So one of the things that I picked up that I saw that just caught my eye because it was like screaming at me basically was this 3-yard bundle. You guys can see this 3-yard bundle here. The colors are just like, they're me. Like every time I see purple and green, I have to look. Like it's just the thing. And so I bought this 3-yard bundle, and then I bought a book that shows you 1 block 3-yard quilts. So we're going to be putting that together at some point. I haven't decided exactly which one we're going to do yet, but we're going to do one of these here soon. So that is one of the things that I bought with me. And so I just threw those 3 things in the Ziploc, so then that way it's all together and I don't have to think about it later. So that was one of the things I bought. One of the other things that I ended up purchasing is a quilt kit, which is what this is, and the backing fabric for it, for a project that is going to be intended for my daughter Taylor, her boyfriend. It's going to be intended for him. I have a bunch of different masculine fabrics in my stash, and none of them just really, they didn't scream him. They just didn't really work for him. In my opinion, they just weren't really for him. Hi, Patricia. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. So when I saw this one, I was like, ooh, this one might be okay. And so I sent a picture of it to Taylor, and I said, what do you think of this? Do you think he'd like it? And she came back and she said, yeah, I think he would really like it. And I said, okay, cool, I'll buy it. The whole kit, it's a throw quilt. The whole kit was less than $100. It was like $85 for the whole kit, and then I had to buy the backing fabric separate. But so what? So the whole thing, pattern, all the fabrics, less than 80. I think it was $85 for the whole kit, and on top of that, one of the pieces of fabric you end up having to cut it long ways this way, and so because of that, you end up with extra fabric. So you can make a bench pillow with the extra fabric. So they even give me the instructions to make the bench pillow. So I thought, cool, not only do I get the blanket, but then I'll also get an extra pillow for him to put on the bed that goes with it. So I thought that was really cool. So here is the pattern for that. It is called Timberland Trails. You can kind of see the pieces here. This is all a panel, and you cut out the pieces of the panel. And then these are flying geese to make trees. And then this piece right here, and I know it's really hard to see on the camera, but that piece right there is the fabric I was telling you about, where we're going to be able to make a bench pillow with it. So the whole kit is really cool. It's deers and elk, kind of in a wintry Christmas season. It says cabin life, never stop exploring, adventure awaits, things like that. So that is one of the kits that we're going to be making. I'm not setting a goal for this. I've already told them there is a 99% chance that he will not be getting this for this Christmas. Because I already have so many things going on. I don't think it's going to happen. But that is this kit that I purchased. And the 3-yard bundle. Look at that. Our table is clearing up for a project for today. The last thing that I bought while we were in Collinsville. Can you believe we've actually gotten through all of it? Surprisingly enough. I have plenty of projects for next year. That is absolutely right. So one of the things that I ended up buying when I was in Collinsville, and I saw this as a sample quilt on the wall, and I thought, ooh, I have some fabric at home that would work really well with that. I just am going to need to buy some extra pieces for it. It turns out that this fabric bundle that I bought, Mama Joyce actually has this bundle as well. So she decided she's going to make it along with me when we get to that point, probably next year or later on in the year. But this one is just a little Villa Rosa Designs card pattern. It is called 2M, and that is what it looks like. Now, I need you guys to picture for me those darker squares. These darker highlight squares are going to be a green, a bright green fabric, kind of like this, kind of like that, or maybe something similar to this or this. I don't have the fabric yet, so these are just some fat quarter samples that I have. It's going to be one of these kind of shades of green. And then this is the bundle that we're going to be using to go along with it. We need 13 fat quarters. The bundle only has 12, so I grabbed an extra one for my stash that I think should go along with it well. And this one is a matte hand cut by Jordan Fabrics. It's called Honey and Clover. You can kind of see the colors in there. It's purples, oranges, golds, yellows, greens, things like that. So we're going to do a nice dark green as that accent square. The colored squares are going to be this fabric line here. Okay, I haven't decided which green I'm going to go with yet. I want to pull the actual fabric bundle out, open it up, and kind of compare some greens for it. And then the white fabric, I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. This one's a partial project, so I have some pieces I need to get with it first. Oh, this green would look good too. Green would look good too. So anyway, sorry, I got distracted. So this one is a partial project, but I still counted it. It's still one of the 9, so I still counted it. So I've got this one started. So as I'm going to other quilt stores, I'll start thinking about that one, and I'll add this one to the list. And once it gets closer, we'll start to kind of look at what we need to make it. But this one will go in the stash just like this. So this is how I organize my projects. I don't have, as you guys can see, I don't have a lot of space for just a stash. I do have a stash. It's under here. It's a very small stash, but it is down there. And it's usually a fat quarter bundle type of a stash. I don't usually buy yardage as a stash. It's usually pre-cuts that I buy as a stash. So I have some jelly rolls here. I have some more jelly rolls there. I have a bunch of single fat quarters here. And then I have more fat quarters and 1 yard cuts down there. A green scrap quilt. Ooh, Dawn, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when I purchase fabric, it's usually for a project, or it's intended for a project or things like that. So this is how I organize all of my stuff. You guys saw me doing that before. I'd use a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. I buy them at wherever you can find them. This is a 2.5 gallon, and so I put everything that I need, or as much as I can that I need, into this Ziploc. And once I get to a point where I have enough of the parts to start working on it, then it gets into our rotation for projects that we start working on. So this one won't be in the rotation for a little bit yet because I need to get some more pieces for it. But when has that ever stopped me from going to the quilt store? I mean, it really just gives me another reason to go. But I do have plenty of other projects to keep me busy right now. So this one will go in the stash, and when we start to get low on these, then we'll start to focus on this one and getting this one. What 3-yard book? This one here. Let me grab it for you. Give me a second. I can pull it out for you. It is called Fabric Cafe. It is called 1 block, 3-Yard Quilts by Donna Robertson and Fran Morgan. Oops. That is the book. The stupid camera. There you go. So that is the book I bought. This book has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different quilts that you can make in it. So this to me, 8 projects right here. That's the way I looked at it. I mean, that's quilting math, right? Right? That's totally quilting math. I have not picked out which one we're going to do. I'm actually leaning towards this one here. Is the one I'm thinking we're probably going to go with, but I might change my mind again, and I might go with this yellow one down here. I don't know yet. But now I have this, and I have 1-yard cuts of fabric down here. So this one might end up being 2 projects that we could make with it. So that's kind of why I purchased that one, because I'm like, ooh, it's not just one pattern, it's, 8. To cover again, Danny, sure. Sure, yeah, of course, sure. One more time. There you go. Oh, my finger's in the way. Go down here. No, this way. There we go. It's called, son of a stupid lady. It is called Fabric Cafe by Donna Robertson and Fran Morgan, and the book is called 1 Block 3-Yard Quilts. And I have seen many varieties of this type of book. So this one actually has a number in the corner. This one is 032343 because I feel like there's been a bunch of them because I've seen a bunch of them. So make sure if you're going to be making this along with me at some point in time that you grab the one that says 032343 in the upper corner. That's the one that I'm working with. I'm leaning towards, now they have the little names down here at the bottom. Again, I know you guys can't see that on the camera, but this one is called Evening Stroll. I'm leaning towards that one, but I like this one too. This one's called Synergy. So I might do that one as well. I haven't decided. This one I might have other fabrics to do that one with. So we'll see. So this one will come up on the channel eventually. Probably not. It may not even come up this year. Honestly, guys, I have so many projects going right now, and we still have 2 more Block of the Month programs coming up in September and October. So this one might be a while before we get to it. It could be a whip. It could be, this one could end up being a members only project. If it does end up being a members only project, I will absolutely let you guys know ahead of time because we are finishing up the project that we worked on for members only. We are finishing that one up, and even that one, that project, that pattern, I have a whole nother set of fabric to make another quilt of that pattern. So lots of projects going on right now. Like I have not gotten to the point where I'm overwhelmed yet, but I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. So last piece of information before we start on Norfolk, which is already 11:30, so we've already wasted an hour, but I'm glad that we're going to actually get to at least some of it, is your flat ducks, your flat chucks. My understanding, for those of you who have ever purchased anything from Missouri Star Quilt Company, they usually send you a flat chuck. I have a couple of them somewhere. For the life of me, I don't know where I put them. The ones that I have here, which I got some duplicates, so I tossed them. But no problem, Susan. No problem at all. Yeah, you can catch the replay for if we ever get to. I want a 5-yard quilt book on Leanna's channel. Oh, okay. I'll have to check out that channel. Pick the fabrics yet. Oh, okay. So what I'm understanding is that these particular flat chucks you can only get if you purchase in Quilt Town. They don't send you these particular ones if you order online. When you order online, you get a bunch of other different ones, but these specific ones, you can only get these if you order in Quilt Town. So let me show you what I got. I said I got some duplicates, so I tossed them already, but I got a 2024 flat chuck, and you can see the Missouri Star tag there, and then their famous water tower, which I didn't see the water tower when I was down there, but I really wasn't looking either. So there's that. And then there's this one, which is the 2025 flat chuck. You can see some fabric down here and some bags over there, and a cute little hat. And then this one is their 2025 Ducktacular birthday celebration, which was on April 24th. Hi, Misty. Welcome back to the channel. 1,000 subscribers. That's amazing, Terry. Congratulations. That is fantastic. That is so amazing. That's definitely someone who well deserves it. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. I had not seen that. So congratulations, Terry. That's so exciting for you. So exciting. So these are the flat chucks that we ended up with. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep them or not yet. I don't know. And then I ended up with two different types of um, maps. They both have the exact same information on them. I think the front picture is just different. So I ended up with those two. I haven't decided if or what I'm going to do with those just yet, but they are here. I also got two of the 12 wall hangings that we signed up for. If you guys follow me on Facebook, then you know I signed up for a third block of the month project that is wall hangings. One for every month of the 12 months of the year. I got two of them already. They are right here. That one may end up being a project for next year because I just I'm next. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Sandra K is trying to get to 600. She's only 4 away. Well, there should be enough people in chat right now to be able to help with that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not already signed up to Sandra K's channel, let's go over there and give her a sub, get her up to 600. If you do exclamation point Sandra in chat, I'll give you a link. So go quick over there, sign up for her channel if you're not already. That would be great. Oh, Terry, you guys are so kind, sharing my live stream. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so that is my haul. That was my haul for Quiltown. That was my haul for Oso Personal Stores. Again, if you guys are in the Missouri area, really close to St. Louis, like 10 minutes from St. Louis. If you guys are in the St. Louis area, make sure you check out. If you do exclamation point Sandra in chat, it should give you a link. I don't think you need to do the K. Yeah, there it is. If you guys are in the St. Louis area, make sure you check out the Oso Personal Store in O'Fallon or the one in Collinsville. Both of them are within an hour of each other, and they're within 20 minutes. They're like within 30 minutes of St. Louis. Like St. Louis is right smack dab in the middle of those two. So make sure you check those out. They are really cute stores. Lots of people there. They do have an online presence as well. They do have a YouTube channel. From what I understand, they do sales on their YouTube channel the same way that Soya does them. I just don't know how often, so maybe check them out. I don't think I follow them on YouTube. I probably should. Maybe it's probably not a good idea if I don't. But either way, lots of fun there, so make sure you check that out. Obviously, Quiltown, you guys are well aware of Missouri Star Quilt Company. I'm sure you know what Quiltown is. I strongly recommend it. I do recommend bringing a couple of projects with you, or at least having a goal when you go in, so that you're not completely overwhelmed. That can totally be a thing. And try to be, with any project, make sure that you're a little bit flexible with things. You have to be a little bit. You have to be willing to come out of your comfort zone, or willing to come away a little bit from your vision of whatever you want the project to be. That black and white one, I had a completely different vision in my head of kind of what I was thinking I wanted to do, but I was open-minded to the fact that maybe I wasn't going to be able to do that and I was going to need to do something else. And that turned out to be amazing. The fabrics that we picked out for that, I absolutely love them now. I actually love the project. I've had such a great time with it. So thank you for that. All right. All right, so now we can work on our Norfolk project. We've got about an hour left of our stream today to work on it, but not to worry because we are going to be coming back tomorrow for a live stream, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we are going to be finishing it. And hopefully by then I will have all this crap put away, but probably not because I have a lot to do between now and then. Oh, I completely forgot to tell you guys about my class yesterday. Yesterday, for those of you who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I'll just tell you about it real quickly. I went to a class on applique. I've never taken a quilting class before or any type of sewing class before. I'm completely self-taught. But I shouldn't say that. I've taken classes, but I was like 3rd grade, 4th grade. Um, I've not taken any in my adult life, we'll put it that way. Um, and this is the first time I've ever done it, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. Turns out there was supposed to be, there was there were 8 spots to sign up for. Only 2 people signed up. It was me and one other lady, super sweet girl. She's only just started sewing since um, March, so she's really new at sewing. She doesn't do a whole lot of quilting. She does more like bags and totes and things like that, but she wanted to learn applique, same as me. So her and I took the class. There were some things about the class that I wish were a little bit different. Not bad by any means, but just a little bit different. And I think that comes down to the instructor. The instructor that we had for this particular class was 2 instructors. Yeah, 2 people. Yeah. It was 2 instructors. They were a set of identical twins, which I'm familiar with identical twins. I have a set of identical twins, so I'm familiar with them. But they were one of those sets of twins that were inseparable. My daughters I've pride myself on the fact that my girls have been raised to be extremely independent, and they are not one unit, they are 2 individuals. Whereas this particular set of twins that was teaching the class, they were very much one unit. They sew together. One of them does the cutting, one of them does the sewing. They live together. They weren't dressed the same, but had the same haircuts, the same mannerisms. They were very much one unit. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is a choice for not only the parents, but also the child as well. Some twins have that very, very strong connection, where they have to be basically like that, and that's okay. Please don't make it sound like, I don't want it to sound like I'm judging, because I'm not. But it does make it difficult. It did make it difficult for me to kind of follow along, because like one of them would start a sentence and the other one would finish, and then it's like, one of them is talking to her, the other student, not to me, and so it was, yes, mirror twins, a lot like that, yeah. And again, I'm not judging. I mean, they are super sweet women. They're extremely talented, very knowledgeable with the subject that they were teaching. It's just a different teaching style than kind of what I was hoping for. That's not to say that I didn't learn some things. I absolutely did. I kind of wish I had learned a little bit more about them, kind of the whys of things as opposed to the hows of things. But that's okay. I did come home with the project, and I think I put the project away already. I did come home with it. You guys will see it this afternoon if you follow. If you go, if you watch our second live stream this afternoon over on Katie's channel, you guys will get to see the project that I'm working on, because I'm going to be working on it some more then. It was applique, so it was layers. It was the theme was Christmas in July, so it's a Christmas wall hanging. It's a Rudolph on top of the roof of a house. It's really cute. They call it, I forget what his name is, the actual reindeer's name. It's not Rudolph, it's something else. But I'm working on the actual sewing of the applique. It's a slow process for me because I'm trying to be very careful, making sure that I'm doing it correctly, things like that. So it's a slow process for me. I will say that one of the things that I learned right off the bat with regard to applique, it is a lot of cutting. It is a lot of cutting. It's a lot of cutting. It's a lot of tracing. It's a lot of ironing. That's not to say it's not worth it. I'm sure that it is. It's just a lot. And so we did not get as much done in the class as I was kind of hoping that we would have. The class was 4 hours long, so it wasn't a very long class. So to expect us to finish the project in 4 hours seemed like a bit of a stretch. And I already sew kind of slow as it is, so I felt like I was probably a little bit behind, and it was a very rush type of situation. I wish that would have been a little bit more relaxed, and it might have been if there had been more students, but because there was only 2 and there were 2 instructors, we basically were assigned an instructor, right here next to us, constantly feeding us information. So that was, different. But I didn't have a bad experience. I don't want anyone that's considering taking a quilting class. Every class is different. Every store is different. Every instructor is different. Even the people within the classes are going to be different. So please don't base your decision on my experience, because it's going to be different. Not to say that my experience was bad in any way, shape, or form. It absolutely was not. It was not bad at all. Like I said, I did learn some things. There were some things I wish were a little bit different, but I'm not the one running the class either. So, um, you guys will get to see that project later this afternoon on Katie's channel when we do our live stream there, because that's what I'm going to be focused on over there. But yeah, it was a helpful class. I wish to get into applique a little bit more, maybe look at some applique patterns, start to play around with that, to refine my skills. I have the hiccups now. To refine my skills a little bit more for that. Next week, Sunday, and I think I said this already, but in case I forgot, I'll say it again. Next week, Sunday, I have another class to go to. Not an applique class, completely different project, but I actually have another class that I have to go to, so we will not have a live stream next Sunday, because I'll be in class, obviously. That class is about bag making or tote bag making. And I know I've told you guys this a million times throughout this year that I really want to learn how to do that. And so I thought the best way, I've watched a bunch of videos. I've taken a bunch of patterns that you guys have sent me. Thank you so much for all of those. Hi, Agnes. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for all of that information. I decided to take the class so then that way there would be an instructor there with me to kind of help guide me along if I have a specific question or things like that. They can answer it right away. So that's why I took the class. The teachers that taught this applique class are going to be the same teachers that teach this bag class. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping there's more students in the bag class and things are a little bit of a different scenario. It's a different project, different scenario, but we'll have to wait and see. They have told me that I need to cut all of my fabric ahead of time, so that is one of the things I plan to do today in between videos, or this week. So I have that over here. I have the fabric for that over here, so I'm going to need to cut that fabric up. So one more class, and then we'll kind of see. Shabby Fabrics has applique videos. Yeah, Brett 46. Everybody seems to have a lot of applique videos, and it's not a difficult technique. It really is not a difficult technique. I just kind of wanted to have that one-on-one instruction here with me, in case I had a specific question or things like that. That's kind of why I signed up for the class. Again, every store is different, so what they're going to teach, how they're going to teach it, how much they're going to charge for those teachings, things like that, that's all going to be different. If you have the ability financially, if you have the ability and physically, if you have the ability to take a class, a project class such as these, I encourage it. I do truly encourage it. YouTube is amazing. YouTube is great. It'll help you teach you things, but having an instructor standing there with you that you can feed information off of and ask questions of, I think is a great idea, especially if it's a skill or a technique that you understand the concept of, but you don't have any experience with, like applique is for me. I wanted to have them there with me in case I ran into a weird situation or something. I can ask questions. Exactly, Don. Yeah, classes help with so many aspects that YouTube cannot. So if you are capable, I strongly encourage it. Most quilting stores, not all of them, but most quilting stores will offer some level of classes of some kind. So I encourage you to take a look at it. I know that that's not available to everybody, and I understand that, and I truly am sorry if it's not available to you. But this class, I had to drive almost 40 minutes away to get to the class. Was the quilt store that I was going to before I found the one that's just down the road from me. But it was a little bit of a long drive for me. It was an all-day event, basically, for me, so it did take me all day, but I still felt like it was worth it. It was a little on the pricey side. It was $40 for the class, and then I also had to I didn't have to buy the project kit. I had to at least buy the pattern, but I didn't necessarily have to buy the kit. I just chose to buy the whole kit, so then that way everything was done for me, and I didn't have to think about it. And then I also had to bring with me my own fusible webbing as well. So I had some in my stash already, so I brought that with me. But I had to bring that as well. So it wasn't, it wasn't an all-inclusive for the $40. The $40 was just for the class. So same thing with the bag making that I'm taking now. $40 for the class, and then you can either buy the kit and the pattern, or just buy the pattern by itself. and do the things like that. So it is a little bit of an expense for some people, and I understand some people are very tight on their budgets, and I completely understand that. I am fortunate enough that I can afford to do things like that every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a great while. And then I bring those skills back here. I bring those skills back here to you guys, and I share them with you as much as I can. I share them in my projects, and I share them with you. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is because I keep seeing a lot of project kits that include applique. And the applique part of it is still very intimidating to me. So now that I have a little bit of experience with the applique process, yes, they taught machine applique. Yes, Sandra, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that. Yes, it was definitely machine applique. It was not hand sewing. I do not do hand sewing. I don't hand sew. Um, so bags can be a very expensive hobby. Yes, yes, they can. They can absolutely be a very expensive hobby. Sandra K has helpful videos and an applique, and so does Pat Stone. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of really helpful videos out there from a lot of our content creator friends here on this channel that have supplied videos, and I've watched many of them, and it's just one of those things where I needed the hands-on, one-on-one experience of it, so that's why I purchased the class. I probably won't need to take another one unless it's something crazy, you know, some type of crazy project that I want to work on. I probably won't need to to take another one because now that I've kind of gotten the experience under my belt and I can kind of run with it from here and build up my skills from here. That's kind of how I learn how to do things. I mean, everybody learns in different ways, but that's kind of how I learn is, you know, I kind of do a bit of research on it, kind of build up my confidence enough to then sign up for a class, so that I get that hands-on, one-on-one experience, and then from there, then I kind of take that technique and run with it from there. So that's kind of how I learn. Everybody learns differently. So next week is no Sunday live stream because I'm going to be taking a bag class, and then I'll be able to share that with you guys the next week. Something fine. Slow down. A time issue? Yes, it does take a lot of time. Yes. EPP also. Yep. Yep. Okay, so Norfolk. Finally, it's an hour and 40 minutes into, or hour and 20 minutes into our stream, and we're just now getting to this project. That's funny. You guys remember with Clue 5, we ran into some issues with the company. That's all been worked out. That's all been sorted through. There were some delays and things like that, but that's all been worked out. So now we are back to moving along. So right now we are on Clue 6. We're on block 6. I believe there are only 8 blocks in the project, so we're almost done with this. And then we're going to get to put everything together. So this block that we're going to be working on today is basically a whole mess of flying geese. You guys can see it up here. This is what we're going to be making. A whole mess of flying geese. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of flying geese. Now this is, for those of you who remember, this is what the actual quilt looks like, so you can kind of see where the flying geese pieces are. It's a sampler quilt design. It's got a bunch of different pieces and blocks in it, and we have made 5 of the 8 so far. So that's what it's going to look like. So flying geese, and that's why I wasn't really too worried about it, because flying geese, we're going to be kind of be able to do those nicely. Got the machine set up here with white thread, and so we're just going to run through these really quickly. So I've got them all laid out. So here's all of my corner pieces. I've got the lines drawn on them, so I'm going to set those off here. And then we've got our colored pieces are here. We've got 4 colored pieces. One thing I wanted to throw out to you guys, and I've mentioned this before, check out the scrap that I have for this project. Like, seriously crazy. Look at all the scrap, and we still have 3 more blocks to go. Like, this is just the amount of scrap fabric is just incredible. Like, I just cannot get over how. I mean, this is probably 3 pounds of fabric. Like, this has got to be 3 or 4 pounds of fabric. Like, Just unbelievable. And so to try and thin this out a little bit, if you are a scrap buster, because I know not everybody is, if you are a scrap buster and you like triangle pieces, because I've got this whole corner here is triangle pieces. If you like triangle pieces, send me an email and I will mail these to you free of charge. Because I will have this whole stack of triangle pieces, varying sizes, and then I'm going to have more. Because I am keeping all the triangle pieces. I will gladly send them to you. If you want to work with half square, because they're all going to be half square triangles. So they're the triangles, you saw them together, they turn into half squares. You guys are interested in working with triangle pieces that are like this, send me an email and I will send you some. If I get more than one email, then I'll just kind of split them up and try and send them to you guys evenly, and you can use them in your stash. So to try and get rid of some of this scrap fabric. The rest of this scrap fabric will end up going into our scrap busting boxes, and it will be gifted away to our members. So if you are not already a member of the channel, this is something that you guys can look forward to. At least once a year, I send you scrap fabrics. These can be small cuts. This one here is an extra clue we ended up getting. We ended up getting a whole extra clue. So this is all scrap. This entire thing is scrap fabric. And so it will be split up and sent to somebody. So yeah, and Dawn, I did not forget about you. I promised you I would send you all of these clues when I'm done with them, and I absolutely will be doing that. I do not forget about you. So you will get these once I'm done with the project entirely. Once the project is completely put together, then I will bag these all up for you and mail them to you. Sandra, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, I wish I had the time for scrap fabrics. I really do. I really wish I had the time for scrap fabrics. So there's usually not enough scraps to make the exact same block over again. Maybe if you scaled it down or something like that. I am not that talented, and I don't have that much time to work with scraps. So that's why I always give my scraps away. Um, But yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Like you could completely make another quilt with the amount of fabric that is here. Like it's. I'm telling you, there's probably 4 pounds worth of fabric here. Like it is heavy, the amount of fabric, and I've got like the air sucked out of it. Like it's just crazy the amount of fabric. So anyway, so we're gonna get started on our flying geese. So we're gonna be sewing up triangles to either side. We're gonna be doing this as a sew and flip method. And that's all we're doing today is flying geese. So this will be really easy to do. I'm just going to feed them through the machine pretty quickly. And that's one of the reasons why I wasn't too worried about not getting things done right away. Because this one's pretty simple. I had a hiccups. Again, there's the hiccups again. Oh my goodness, hiccups again. Switch my presser foot ouch to this one. Added extra blocks to the backing to give another look to quilt. Yeah, that's another great thing you can do. This project kit, what I understood, is supposed to include the backing fabric. So, I mean, I could do something with it. Linda says, email sent to you. Awesome. Yeah, if you guys like working with triangle fabrics and you're interested in I don't know that there's enough here to make a full quilt with, but I'm certain that there's enough triangles here to make some type of a wall hanging or pot holders or something with, for sure, 100%. And we're going to have some more here because we're going to be cutting all these off too. But they are in varying sizes. So we're just going to feed these in here. We're actually getting to the project. So one side, and the other, and then trim them all. I feel like my chair moved. Like making the Poppins frame bag for 2 aunties. I figure I will be mixing my lime green vinyl with some K facet. Make it again. Oh, that sounds like fun, Dawn. John, how are you doing? I know that you're probably pretty much healed now with your injury. But how is that going? Is it affecting you still with regards to your hobbies or anything like that? I mean, I imagine once winter comes or once the weather gets cooler, you'll start to have some issues at least for a little while as you work through it. But how are things going otherwise? Is everything going okay? And Brat 46, was it your husband that was having some health issues? I forgive me. I know it's been a few weeks. But if it was, how is he doing? If not, I apologize. It must have been somebody else. Excuse me. How are they doing? Are they doing okay? I've kind of been out of the loop a little bit with my vacation and everything else going on. I haven't really had the opportunity to catch up with you guys. Using up my triangles as leaders and enders, and just finished a 1-inch project with them. Now I'm making a 2-inch diamond pattern out of my head. Oh, cool. Blasting PBS kids. Alright. So this is going to be a pretty easy to sew together. It's just going to be kind of pressing and trimming is really what's time consuming about it. But it's just a bunch of half square triangles. It's really all it's going to be. Or I'm sorry, flying geese. Flying geese. Bunch of flying geese with some triangle stuff included. So yeah, really easy, simple to do here. We're definitely going to have another live stream tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, to hopefully finish up these pieces. Excuse me. We'll kind of have to wait and see how it goes. I might end up having to do 2 live streams this week to finish it up. We'll see. Go. Melina, me too, going downhill faster. Can you ask your question, Danny? I could not hear you. Oh no, Don, totally fine. I was just asking how your healing was going. I know you were in that injury earlier in the year. And I know you're not in the cast or anything anymore, but I was just checking in with you to make sure it's going okay. That's all. I have a baby. Hi, baby. I still don't have any snacks. I'm sorry. Still no snacks. No. Hi, baby girl. You want uppies? Uppy? Uppy? No? You want uppies? No. She's so silly. I told you guys, ever since my puppy's live stream, now she comes in here every single time I'm in here and wants to know if I've got snacks. Every single time. My foot is fine and back to normal. Oh, good. I'm glad. I know my mom had a terrible foot injury a few years ago, and it really was a snowball effect. It started with one thing, and then they ended up having to do another and another and another. And so that's kind of why I was asking, is just make sure that you were doing okay. My mom's foot injury became a lot more than we thought, so I'm glad that you're all healed up. Glad to hear that. No snacks, girl. I know she's mad at me. Walked all day yesterday. It bothers me maybe once a month. It's like my foot gets. I can understand that. Yeah. I think my mom's injury was just, it was a very severe injury. Um, and so she still to this day has some struggles. And they had told her when she had the injury, the initial injury, that that particular type of an injury was going to be very extensive. It was going to be a very long healing process, very slow, long healing process, and there was likely going to be some permanent damage. Um, Unfortunately for her, during the process of her, her treatments, she kind of had some setbacks, and that kind of caused some further issues. So, hi Carrie, welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Um, Thanks so much for joining me today. We are finally getting to our Norfolk project. It's a bunch of flying geese, so I'm just kind of doing them one at a time. But you guys know I don't sew very fast. It takes me a lot longer to sew things. So I sew slower than most. And I gotta tell you, that applique stuff, you really have to go slow, or at least I do, when you're going around curves and stuff. I still am not mastering that very well. Still working on that. I kept hearing horror stories from my athletic friends. Took years to heal for them. My grandmother also broke her foot at about my age, and her foot bothered her for several years. So far, so good. So that's good, Dawn. I'm really glad to hear that. I would expect, and this is just from personal experience with regards to broken bones and things like that, I would expect you to kind of go back a few steps with regards to your healing process in the winter, at least this first winter. Um, I'm not sure if it gets cold by you or not, but usually, at least in my experience, that's kind of been the case. Is that first winter after the injury, everything kind of seizes up on you and gets really tight. But after that, each winter gets a little bit better. Like I said, my mom has some permanent damage from her injury. She broke her heel. She didn't actually break her foot. She broke her heel. Um, Her heel bone looked like Pac-Man because she broke it this way instead of this way. She actually broke it this way. It looked like Pac-Man. We're not entirely certain exactly how she did it. I mean, we know she fell, but we don't actually know how her foot moved to be able to break like that. So it's weird. Hi, Naomi. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. Had a catch in it. Okay. February, March. Gotcha. February started walking, and And man alive, that was the worst, weirdest pain over and over. The pain really wiped me out in February, March. April is when I could fully mobile and pain free. That's great to hear, though. It's really good. Mama Joyce goes in waves. There are weeks where she's fine, and then there are weeks when she's not fine. The winter is usually the worst for her, and extended periods of time of walking. So, like when we're on our vacations and things, if we do a little bit too much walking, she usually ends up in some type of pain. She has had to change the shoes that she buys. She has specific shoes she needs to buy in order to help alleviate some of that pain. And Mama Joyce, unfortunately, because of her injury, has had multiple surgeries. She's had to have surgery on hers multiple times now. I think she's on her third or fourth surgery. So, stress fracture in my heel years ago and could not walk without a boot. Yeah. Yeah, Mama Joyce broke her heel. She ended up having to have screws put into it to help it stay together to heal. And unfortunately, she ended up with a bone infection as well. Because the tissue around her heel actually died because of the way the injury was sitting. It had actually cut off the circulation to the skin behind her heel, which had died and created an infection. So then she ended up with a bone infection, which cut down her healing process considerably. And then because of the bone infection, her heel never actually healed the way it was supposed to. And so the injury actually got worse before it got better. So she ended up in the second surgery. And then the second surgery actually, fixed the problem. And of course, healing it, the infection. And then after the bones were healed, then she started having trouble with her ligaments and her tendons in her heel because she had been off of it for so long and there had been such a weird injury to it. So she ended up with another surgery to fix the tendons and ligaments in her ankle. So the good news is that she can walk. That was always a fear of hers, is that she wasn't going to be able to walk again. And she worked really careful with the doctors and did everything the doctors told her to do. And she can walk. Not always pain-free, but for the most part she can walk. And she just has to, be careful with some things. I feel like, did that actually show anything? I guess it did. I think so. So weird. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah, her injury was awful. Yeah, her injury was 100% awful. It was a very long, painful process. It was probably two-ish years before she could really do what she needed to do. So, all right, so we've sewn all these up, so now we're going to go ahead and separate them out. We'll trim them down, iron them open, and then start on the next side. I don't know that we're going to get to all that today, but we're going to try to do what we can. I have found just recently that ironing seems open on these flying geese and half square triangles really seems to help things lay more flat when you're working with them. So it does take a little extra time to iron things open for sure. But I really feel like it's been worth it, um, in my opinion. So I will probably do that here again. In fact, I will do that here again. Um, oh crap! I just lost it. It's down there. Finally found my little bitty ruler. Remember I told you guys I had one? I finally found it. A little bitty 1 inch ruler. I finally found it. And it works really well for situations like this where you're just going to be, you know, doing 1/4 of an inch. There's more triangles. Oh, can you, thank you. So yeah, Mama Joyce's injury was pretty severe. It was pretty substantial. It took a long time for it to heal completely. Was weekly, monthly visits with her orthopedic. She went had second opinions done to make sure that, you know, I mean it's within your right to have second opinions done, and so she went and had a couple of second opinions just to make sure that the course of treatment that she was moving towards was what they all recommended, and in that case it was. So, and she still has some issues. It's never going to be perfect. Because of the injury, she had some bones. She lost part of pieces of bone in her heel. So they had, and her Achilles tendon detached. So they had to reattach her tendon, and because of that, that made her foot a little bit, you know, the stretch of her foot and ankle a little bit smaller. Hi, Melanie. Welcome to the channel. And Melanie Montoya and Melanie Taylor. Welcome, both of you, to the channel. Trimming up flying geese. And we'll iron them flat. We are going to have a second live stream for this particular block. It'll be part B tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We will have we're going to be joining, I'm going to be joining Katie over on her channel this afternoon, 3 or 3:30 p.m. Central Time, for our Peace of Mind Mending Pieces discussion. I know that's not for everybody, so I totally understand if it's not one that you want to join. I get that. I understand. For her and I, it's something very personal, close to us, that we are comfortable discussing. Her best friend, I think she calls her Sissy, will also be joining us. She is a board certified, licensed therapist who specializes in trauma therapy. So she offers a great professional perspective to things as opposed to a personal perspective. It's really helpful. Katie and I have received a lot of comments and compliments and messages about how helpful those conversations have been for people, and that's really the goal. You know, it's not so much to talk about our own experiences, but more just to offer a safe space and, you know, ways for others to help manage their own. So if that's something that interests you. And it's something that I have mentioned before on my channel, but I don't go into a lot of detail on it normally. But if that is something that is of helpful to you, please feel free to join us over on Katie's channel. If you do exclamation point Katie, Katy, in chat, it'll give you a link for her videos. Checking to make sure I'm not missing anything in chat. I talked to Mona and she fixed the problem you had on Discord. You shouldn't have that problem again. Oh, I gotta get better at Discord. I was really good at Discord for a while there with regards to my my gaming channel stuff, and I kind of lost track of that, and I should probably get back into it. Just a quick reminder to everybody watching, and even those of you watching after the stream, if you could do me a quick favor and just go and hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. If you are watching after the stream has ended, please feel free to give me a comment. Let me know you're here. I'd love to chat with you guys, and sometimes the only way for me to know that you're there is for you to leave a comment so I can say hi and thank you personally for watching and hanging out with me and being my friend. I've mentioned it a couple times now, but there will not be a live stream next Sunday. I am taking a quilting class, another class, project class, so I will not be available. There will be a members only stream that Monday, so not this coming Monday, but the next Monday. There will be a members only stream. If you are not a member and want to join in on that conversation, make sure you click the button down below that says join. Every other week we get together on a video call and live stream, combination video call live stream, and we chat about a variety of different things. Right now we're working on the tail end. We're finishing up a quilt-along project, and we're probably going to have another one here soon. My guess is I'm probably going to do one of these 3-yard bundle projects as a members only, because those are fairly simple to do. Maybe not that purple and green one I just showed you, but a different colorway, perhaps. And sometimes it's just a whip kind of a day. We're just kind of working on whatever you got and just hanging out. It's available to all of our members right now. Eventually, depending on how large the channel grows, we might have to start limiting it to only certain members, but right now it's available to everyone. Chat, chat, chat. Hi, Katie. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. I was just telling everybody a little bit ago about our live stream later on, encouraging everyone to go check it out. If that's a subject that interests them. I know it's not for everybody. And we were also celebrating Terry reaching 1,000 subscribers. That's so exciting for her. I'm so happy for her. Alright, last one that we need to trim up. And then we can iron them open. Turn my iron on. Looks like we have about 10 minutes. We'll probably get some of them ironed up. I will add these little bitty triangle pieces to my scrap bag. As I mentioned when we started this project a little bit ago, if you are interested in half square triangles, scraps of half square triangles specifically, and you would like me to send you some, I can absolutely send you some, because I have a whole corner of this bag full of them. I would be happy to send them to you free of charge, of course. Send me an email and I will gladly send them off. If I get more than one person that sends me an email, I'll try and split them out as evenly as I can and send you each an even amount of them. Hell, I might even throw in some of this extra fabrics that are in this scrap bin. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how many people send me an email. We'll say that by the end of day today. So anybody that I get an email from by end of day today, Sunday, 7/27, then I will send them to you. So then that way kind of limits it a little bit because, you know, I only have it for so long. So. Grab my. So now we're going to be ironing for a little bit. Not for very long. We're going to iron for a little bit. And then we will come back tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we will be finishing up these flying geese and actually putting these pieces together. This is block 6 of this project. So I have some on my iron apparently. Ooh, there's some ickies on my iron. Ooh, somebody just redeemed a fat quarter. Congratulations, Melina, on redeeming a fat quarter with your thimbles. What did I do with it? Here it is. Those redemptions ship out at least once a month. I've already shipped out May through July. So it might be a little bit before you get yours, depending on how many there are. If there are quite a few because I think I only have one other one, so I don't think I'll be mailing anything out in July, the rest of July, but I might do some in August. We'll see. Although recently I did purchase during Prime Days, I purchased a label printer so that I can buy the postage and print the labels right here in my home, which saves a ton of time. So I might be able to do these much faster now. Because before it was, you know, I have to put everything, I got to put all the packages together, then I got to find time to get to the post office, to stand in line, for them to put the postage on it, and everything else. Yeah, Terry, thank you. Streamlabs is awesome. It keeps track of it for me, so it's just a growing list until I go in there and check it, box it, who it was. So, yeah, I believe it was Chloe. I'm not entirely certain. I can check when the time comes. I've been so busy I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. So, yeah, postage goes up and up. Yeah, it does. Yeah. But one of the nice things about having this label printer at home now is I can print the labels and I just go in and drop it. The box is off. I don't have to stand in line and wait. So that will hopefully speed up the process and the frequency of how often I'm able to mail out the redemptions. That's my goal. So congratulations on redeeming those. Don't think I'm going to be able to get to them the end of this month, but that just means that they'll roll over into August and you'll get them in August. So keep redeeming every week, and I just keep adding them up and keep throwing them into the envelope, and then when I go to mail them out, the envelope is usually pretty full. For those of you who are new to the channel and have no idea what we're talking about, the symbols that you are playing with in chat, you can redeem those in for prizes. You can redeem them. You can redeem prizes every live stream, but you can only redeem one prize per live stream. One type of prize per live stream. So if, like, this, they just redeemed an ocean, so they can't, or I'm sorry, a fat quarter, so they can't redeem another fat quarter in this live stream, but next live stream they can. It just kind of keeps the number down a little bit for me, so I don't lose track. But Streamlabs keeps a running list of all the redemptions for me, so then that way I can do that. And then, of course, there's also the quarterly mailings that go out for some of our members. We have a Fat Quarter Club for some members in a Fat Quarter Club where I send you 3 fat quarters every quarter. Those go out every quarter. Those also went out just recently. You can get your postage on pirate ship and still have USPS pick it up for free on your regular delivery time. Oh, nice. Your postman picks up your shipments? Oh, that's nice. I have never asked my postman to do it, honestly. He usually walks. He doesn't, like, we don't have like mailboxes at the street. Ours are, he hand delivers, so he would have to hand carry it the whole time. And I usually don't ship just one at a time. So I usually just drop them off at the mailbox. Sometimes, but now that I have the postage meter, I'm actually hoping to just bring them into the office and throw them on the cart in the office and have them pick them up that way. So that's my goal, if I'm being completely honest, rather than even going to the post office at all. Is it 12:28? Okay, we got a few minutes. All right. So I know we talked about a lot this morning. If you guys are just joining us, make sure you catch our replay where you can see my haul from my trip to Quilt Town. Strongly recommend it. It was amazing. It was great. We went on Tuesday morning, and we got there about 9:45 on Tuesday, and it was a hotter than Hades kind of day. It really was. Weather was nice, like it wasn't raining, but it was hotter than Hades. But the crowds weren't very. I mean, the stores did start to pick up towards the end of the afternoon. Towards the afternoon, the stores did start to get a little bit more busy. But for the most part, they were pretty empty for the most part. There was like 1 or 2 people in every store, which really is nice. We'll put it this way: there were way more employees in each store than there were customers at a particular point in time that we were there. We left there because the Quilt Town is open from 9:30 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. The entire town closes down at 5 o'clock. Like everything in that town closes at 5 o'clock. It was just the craziest thing. Like restaurants and all. Like I don't know what you're supposed to do for dinner if you're visiting and you live in a hotel, because there was nowhere to eat after 5 o'clock. But anyway, it took us quite a while to find somewhere to eat, if I'm being honest. But anyway, so we were in Hamilton until probably about 1:45, 2 o'clock. And then we headed back to our hotel in Chillicothe, cute little town. It's the home of sliced bread, for those of you who are interested. The home of Chillicothe, Missouri is the home of sliced bread. It's about an hour and a half north of Kansas City, which is kind of neat. And there are more hotels than restaurants. And most of the restaurants, all but 2 of the restaurants in the entire town, close at 5 o'clock. There are only 2 restaurants that are open after 5. They were good restaurants, don't get me wrong, because we ate at both of them. But there were only two. There were only two. So, oops. All right, well, we are about halfway through our ironing of this one side. So we've got half of our flying geese done. We still need to do the other half, which is over here. Still need to do the other half. So when we come back tomorrow evening, we will finish ironing these up. I'm ironing them open. I have found that to be the best approach with these particular types of pieces. We will finish ironing them, then we will sew up the other side, finish ironing them again, and hopefully sew up all of the strips. Whatever we don't end up finishing tomorrow during the live stream, I will finish after. I will end up finishing off camera, so then that way we are still staying with the project. So there's that. Let me go ahead and mark these real quick so that we can keep them, because I still need to know what the numbers are of them. So let me just mark these real quick. I still have my alphabeties here. Let's just this fabric D. This one is D. There we go. This one is H. Just grab these real quick. H. We're going to need to be putting these together in a specific order, so that's why I'm just going to go ahead and mark these real quickly. I know I've said it like 5 times already, and so I apologize for repeating myself, but I know people kind of pop in and out throughout the stream, and that's totally fine. But I just wanted to remind everyone one more time that we do have a live stream over on Katie's channel this afternoon called Mending Peace of Mind, Mending Pieces, where we are going to be discussing mental health. We're going to be, working on some whips and stuff as well, but the majority of the conversation is about mental health. If that is something that is of interest to you, please make sure you head over to Katie's channel, give her a sub, and then you can watch our stream from there. Next week, we will not have a live stream. There's no live stream next week. Oh, this piece is shorter than all the ones. That's weird. We will not have a live stream next week because I will be in a quilting class. All of these are short. That's not good. I will be in a quilting class, so we will not have a live stream next week. We will have a members only stream that next Monday. And then I don't remember if I scheduled another stream during that week, maybe a Wednesday or something, or not. I can't remember. But then we will be back the next Sunday. Oh, I can't believe we're in August already. Like, where is the summer going? It's just so crazy. Yeah. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, I don't understand why things are so crazy. Oh, I didn't even realize the puppy cam was even on. That is so funny. No wonder you guys could see the puppy. Like, I didn't even realize the puppy cam was on. That's funny. Because I'm sitting here looking at my Zoom camera. My Zoom camera doesn't have the puppy cam. I didn't even realize it was still on. So that's funny. That explains it then. That explains it. Either way, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the puppy cam. So there you go. It's so funny. All right, friends. So don't forget, and make sure you hit that like button down below. If you're watching after the stream, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know you were here. If you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of really fun things here on the channel in the next few weeks. Few months, probably into next year. But anyway, if this is your kind of thing, then welcome. If it's not, that's okay too. We completely understand that's why there's so many different options and varieties out there to choose from. So anyway, guys, thanks again so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to my moderators for being awesome. Thank you to my members for supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers for also supporting the channel. Just thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you guys again a little later this afternoon over on Katie's channel. If not, I will see you again in a couple of weeks when we resume our live streams. I have no idea what we're working on in a couple of weeks. But anyway, talk to you later, friends. Thanks again so much. I will get to the right button when it tells me. Bye for now, guys.